When Death Row Records was one of the most dangerous record labels around, Snoop Dogg almost dissed Suge Knight.
Everybody at that time was deadly afraid of shit.
And the gang violence situation that's connected to Death Row is deadly.
But Master P stopped him and came up with a better solution. Snoop Dogg almost made a decision that could have got him seriously hurt, or even worse, that could have got him killed.
Death Row wanna kill me. I'm not a part of Death Row no more.
We all remember the horrifying stories about what Suge Knight did to some people. But Snoop Dogg did not care about any of that. He was about to go to war with Suge and his whole label. But Master P stepped in and saved his life. I'm gonna talk about the terrible events at Death Row that pushed Snoop to almost diss his own boss, and the other rapper that offered to finance Snoop's attack on Suge. I'm gonna talk about how much that rapper was willing to pay Snoop to diss Suge. So let's start with what pushed Snoop to go at Death Row and Suge. The first terrible event at Death Row that convinced Snoop to diss Suge is the death of Tupac. On September 13th, 1996, when Tupac passed away, Snoop was devastated at his friend and label mate's tragic death. He started to feel very unsafe around Suge Knight and more.
I started feeling like they was out to get me.
He no longer believed in Death Row and Suge Knight's leadership. Between the years of 1997 and 1998, the environment at Death Row Records continued to grow more hostile. Snoop's desire to leave the label grew more and more each day. Snoop was already unhappy with his contract, claiming that he was not paid fairly and he was being held like a slave by Suge Knight's unbreakable agreements.
Everything was in Suge Knight's name. Business account was his account, manager was his wife. Imagine all of that shit being twisted up like an octopus.
Tupac's death destroyed any remaining loyalty or fear that kept Snoop Dogg in line. The situation went from a bad business deal to a matter of life and death. In 1998, Snoop Dogg finally parted ways with Death Row Records. This happened right after the murder of his friend and label mate Tupac and his legal troubles with Suge Knight. This was a very messy split, and for a very long time afterwards, there was a lot of bad blood.
These niggas, and these niggas didn't appreciate it. So when I got locked up, these niggas cheered. They're riding against us. Ain't no in between. Either you with us or against us. Those who not with us.
All of this finally pushed Snoop to work on an album dissing Suge and Death Row. Snoop Dogg had allegedly started working on the 4-length album titled F Death Row, sometimes referred to as Death Row Killer. The rapper that was willing to finance Snoop's diss album is Mac 10. Mac 10 was willing to spend $1 million to release the album on his Who Bangin' record label.
I was gonna put an album out called Death Row. And Mac 10 was gonna give me $1 million to put it out. It was gonna be on Who Bangin' Records.
No.
And who?
When Snoop Dogg was recording his F Death Row album, he always seen Master P in the same studio space. One day, Master P called him into his office and he asked him about the aggressive album.
No.
And Who Bangin' Records and No Limit Records was all up under Priority Records and Ice Cube label. So I would go up there to see Mac 10. And when I would go up there, I would have to pass by Master P's No Limit get to Mac. You know what I'm saying? So now he called me to his office. He said, "What you working on?" I said, "I got this album called Bro, it's my party."
Master P warned Snoop, "You're not going to live to see this album come out," suggesting the severe retaliation and violence that it could provoke from Suge Knight.
Like, hold on, bro. He closed the door. That nigga like, "Man, you ain't gonna live to see that album come out." He said, "Don't do that, bro. You can't make no record talking about Death Row and shit. Shit go, man." He said, let me make an offer to you.
So instead of releasing the album, Master P offered Snoop a new path, a new choice, a new idea, a life of financial independence where he would own his own assets, cars, home, which at the time Snoop did not have under Suge Knight. Snoop ultimately decided to take the path that Master P was offering him.
Yeah, the beginning of my career, Suge Knight had everything in his name. And I don't know if it was good or bad, but it was the business. And when I got on No Limit, the first thing Master P did was took me to buy a house. We drove through this place called The Country, and he said, pick out any one you like. We just driving through a neighborhood. I'm like that one. Get out. Went up in that mother, looked at it, signed it off. Boom, next day, you and wifey go get a car. All this shit is my name, so is she showing me you need to own your You don't even know the business. You know the show, but you don't know the business. This shit is business. 3 years on No Limit, I'm gonna teach you the business. Because people were smart enough to know that I wasn't ready to go to war. I just was vigilant, and I was like, fuck my pride, but my pride would've got me killed. When sometimes you gotta be smarter than the average bear. You gotta know and understand why you're here. And I needed him as a big brother and a mentor to pull me out of that bad environment, take me to the South, show me a different world. My family from Mississippi. See, sometimes you gotta get taken back to your roots. Well, Master P showed me how to put a label together, how to go get money, how to eat, how to make money off my tours, how to make money off of movies, how to create a different lane for me to be seen differently. He brought money to the industry, cuz I'm telling you, everybody on No Limit had a house, a car, 2 guns, and a